RSS feed, you'll paste it in there and click on a button that says validate. And it's going to say, hey, you've got your artwork, you've got your descriptions, you've got your categories, and the third thing you need a live episode, at least one. And so it'll say, I see your episode, I see your artwork, I see your descriptions, and then when it says you have no errors, you go, great, submit. And usually within 3 to 7 days, you will see your show then in iTunes.
About it, and I know Kim's done a whole bunch of these. She actually listened to what I was saying, and she would formulate. I know she had an idea where she wanted to go, but she would say, wow, that's an interesting thing. Tell me a little bit more about that, because I've seen that. That's something that a really great interviewer does, which is listening to what the other person is saying. When you're with someone that's literally about to read down questions off a page and they're not listening to your answers, it's almost demoralizing for the person being interviewed, because imagine if someone said, what's the toughest moment in your life? And that person said, when I lost my mentor when he was, only 51 years old, he had Lyme disease or whatever it was. And then their next question is, great, tell me the quote that you live your life by. That does happen, by the way. And it's because they're nervous, and it's okay to be nervous, but you gotta be in the moment and listen to what the other person is saying.
We're going to break into our first question from Linda.
Let's hear it. Is it tons of fun? What do you say? Should we go on our first question?
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Hello, my name is Linda, and I'm from Tampa, Florida. And if I could talk to God, He made such a beautiful world, but why did He put the kneecaps on the flamingos backwards? I just don't understand. They don't go backwards. That's my question.
I prefer to hear the buzz and feel that buzz of God.
Nice, a buzz of God.
The buzz of God over the mosquitoes.
That's going to be a good thing. Absolutely. So?
Let's get to our second question. We have Barbara. Barbara, where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Ooh, how are you enjoying the weather down here in beautiful Orlando?
I love it.
Awesome. So what is your question to God, if you could ask God one day?
This is a very serious question I wanted to ask for some time. I want to know why God only made cats to live for maybe 20 years if you're lucky. The average is only 15. I don't understand why He did that, because they're the best pets you could possibly have. Kids.
The real question we want to know here is, why do we need cats at all?
I'm with you. As a dog person, I think, you know what? No. So, Danny, you've had some questions for God. We've talked about them over the time. Did your questions change after you became a dad, or have they always been the same questions like just inside?
After I became a dad, it was like, why me? Before that, there were a lot of other things. So we have our next guest on the show. We have Christina. Christina, where are you from?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yes.
So if you could ask God one question, what would that be?
I really want to know what came first, chicken or egg.
Well, which was it? Oh my goodness. Sometimes the answer is wait. All right, we have our next guest on. It's Sven. Sven, where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa. All the way from South Africa. How are you enjoying your time here?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Love time.
So Sven, if you could ask God one thing, what would that question be?
Well, I'd like to know, is He the only God? Are there many of you?
Well, God one time was a mental patient, I think. Had multiple personalities. Could be many. Just be one. So we have another guest on, Ellen. Ellen, where are you from?
I'm from New York City.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
So God is sitting here next to you, and you can ask God one question.
My question is, are you a man or a woman?
Bam!
I thought God was transgender. And then again, the next question on that would be, where does God go to the bathroom?
I just gotta ask, God, do you tinkle?
And if you sprinkle when you tinkle,
Be real
what's the CD? Absolutely, yes. I have a boy who does that all the time. Which is the why me question that I've always asked. Absolutely. So our next guest is that Sabah?
Yeah, this is Sabah. I'm from Boston, and I want to know, God, if you say that we pick the parents, then I want to know, why did you send me to those parents? I didn't pick them!
You know, I've actually heard some discussion on this, and you actually did. You chose those parents. So, and I say that to my kids all the time, and it's not my fault you made the choice that you did.
Live with it.
Just like every other decision you're going to have in life. So our next guest is Francesco.
Hi.
Where are you from, buddy?
So my question for God is, what did you
I've heard that God used to eat planets, but then he heard they were high in cholesterol, so he switched over to asteroids.
You know what? They were crunchy at first, but he was able to have the chocolate to make it
Put
go.
those in your bowl and
Now, you know what, Danny, we are, I'm just hearing from the booth right now, actually, God is in the building. God is in the building. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap today so that we can get our questions ready to go to rock and roll these questions that you have asked so that we can find out the answers.
you get to talk to God directly.
I love it.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for the interview.
The impossible interviews.
Next week.
Yeah, I'm going to say next week we're going to be talking to Harry Potter.
They don't have
Harry Potter!
Harry Potter. There you go. Yeah.
Or should we say we're
Episode number 1.
Santa Claus.
To Impossible Interviews. This is episode 1.
Hey, Rick and Brandon.
Next
Can I get
week,
you guys up
tune in
front
to
here?
hear Harry Potter directly
Rick,
from
yes, Rick. Self-defense, Rick. Wes, you too. Wes, you too.
I hope that sound is back.
If you could ask God one question, what would that be?
I really want to know what came first, chicken or the egg.
There is a chicken, and there is an egg, and they are in a bed. And the caption says, well, that answers that.
Oh my gosh. Always about sex.